Hello everyone out there. Hello from the little farm. I hope everyone is fabulous and well. I have decided to keep myself entertained and hopefully you guys entertained too, and inspire and create. It's what I do, it's what I love, and it's what you guys love me for. So I thought this way we can continue to play, we can continue to create. I'm going to do a collection. It's called Behind the Creative by Julia Rose. We'll continue to have like the flowers by Julia Rose, Instagram and social media, Facebook, things like that. This will be Behind the Creative. So it will be a separate page. And on this page, I'll include creative sessions like workshops. We'll make stuff that I forage and gather like from the property here whilst in lockdown. We'll have a collection of the garden, like, gardening tips and things like that. We'll have all the little baby animals. I'm thinking I do want to dye one of my chickens pink, so I don't know how that'll go. It might be fabulous. It could be really weird in the same, but yes, so just like random stuff like that, as well as like our general floristry, obviously. We'll do things. Today's session is going to be really easy. It'll be easy for you guys to make. It'll be easy for me. Something simple that you can just like make from what it is that you have there. The items I have here, I have collected from the farm. There's probably about 4 or 5 different types of greenery, and then there's some sort of dead flowers, dried flowers, not dead flowers. But once we put them in, they will be magnificent. So I have an old vessel here, which I have sort of left organic. Is that the word you say? So the vessel hasn't been touched up. Initially we had painted the vessel gold, but I've just left it a little bit scratchy and rough because I think that's real. Do you know, everything's not perfect in life, and I don't like my designs to be perfect either. This vessel here, it is watertight. So I am not going to use Oasis because I don't think that it would be something that everyone would just generally have on hand, like basically. So I'm going to use, I have like a little scrap piece of chicken wire here. I'm not sure if you can see that. The camera is so far away. I'm hoping you can. But yes, so I'm going to use a little scrap piece of chicken wire. If you don't have chicken wire, you could actually just crush up, like break up a few sticks and pop them in there, just to give you a little bit of a base, a little bit of guidance where to go from, how to. But I will cover that, the stick breaking and things like that, in a future session. But for today, I'm going to use like a little bit of chicken wire. So this does contain water, so our flowers can drink, obviously. But that step was done prior to. So we've got like our chicken wire. Just going to loosely pop that in here. That's it. So simple. It's like magic. I have a collection, so I've got like just some general, like it has spider poop and like cobwebs and all of that stuff on it. I like my designs. I love nature and I want everything to look nice and natural and organic. But obviously if you were doing it for a friend or you were doing it for a client, then you would polish everything up. You give it a nice little clean. You would like trim back those little dirty and broken leaves and things like that. I haven't got anything that's too wildly dirty, obviously. I was a little bit tempted in my collection. So I'm going to do a nice offset design. So what we will do, we will base through the design. So we've just got like a little bit of greenery here. Nothing too fancy, we're just going to go simple. So we're going to trim this guy through, a couple of little pieces, pop him straight in here. So I'm going to do an offset. Oh, we want to put him in there so he stays in there, and we want to put him in there so he touches the water too. This is key. So we'll go through, take off all these little scrappy bits. We can use them to make a little jar afterwards. So again, I just want to get some nice wings out to the side. So that is my dirty, scrappy little greenery. So he's being used just as a base, a nice throw. So that's it. We've got like a little bit of, you know, he's giving us a little bit of shape, a little bit of an idea of where we're going to head with our design. And then I've grabbed a second one because I'm huge on texture. I love texture. So this little guy, see, he's quite feathery, quite simple again. I'm just going to pop a couple of pieces of him in there. Where is he? Oh, and he's got these darling little nuts. So he can go in here too. Again, simply stunning. There we go. Look at that. He already looks gorgeous and he doesn't even have any flowers. So because we have the dried flowers, I've also picked up some dried branch, like a little bit of dead branch. So I'm going to use that to just create an illusion here, the extension coming out the side. This guy, because he's dried, he doesn't necessarily have to touch the water in there. So this is why he's going to be good to give us that long extension out to the sides, because we can basically just sit him flat in there, can't we? And the chicken wire is going to hold him through. There we go. So we've got some really nice wings popping out to the side. And then for the top of the design, so as you can see, I've kept the design quite flat to the pot. Then I'm going to just take a nice little piece up here, continue that through. And so now all of my frameworks is covered. And really, we've only used half a dozen pieces of greenery. I have so much more. I've found these guys. These guys are going to be a little feature. Look at this guy. I'm not sure if you can see him, but he does look like green velvet. Do let me bring him up to the camera. Look at this. Isn't he gorgeous? Imagine if you can make a little pair of pants out of him. He's like green velvet. I'm going to make something really cool, like a wearable piece out of him. Well, not him in particular, maybe one of his cousins. So, because he is naturally dangly, we will pop him out to the side. But we don't want him to look like he's a fool out there, do we? We want him to merge with the design. I think he needs a few friends out here too. So I did grab a few more. Oh, look at that one, it's just a stick. I might use that little leaf here. Look, looks like it's part of him. Here we go. These little guys, straight through. There we go. That's better. Now he doesn't look so silly out there by himself. And that leaf was perfect, wasn't it? Oh, he jumped out. He don't want to be there. He's been in lockdown too long. He's making an escape. Did you see that little butterfly go past? So what I'm going to do, because we've got those guys out here, I would like to offset that in the design up here, but I don't want to have it low because at the moment everything is low and out to the side. So I'm going to just bring a little bit of height variation and movement into the design, so you can see he's sitting up here and he's offsetting from these here. Again, the top is still nice and empty. I am going to bring some movement through there, but I'm going to keep that really quite light. I found these, and they do have dirty leaves, and I did carry on about how I was going to leave them dirty, but I'm just going to take them off because they're yellow and they're upsetting me. I thought these were great. See how their little stems are bald here? This is magnificent. So I have our little dried flowers. I'm going to pop them in here. And so the reason I pulled those little bald guys out before is because I was thinking of where I'm going to put them. And where I am going to put them. So you can see I've replicated that again. I've hidden my little guys in there. He can go in there. And then this guy, so he's offsetting him. He's a little bit higher, as you do. And again, I'm going to sit him down on this guy's head, offsetting to this guy here. So we've got our balance here. And then we've got these guys drawing the eye up high. I'll pop this little dry guy in the back. Not that you can see him, but he's in there just covering the back of my design. And I made these. I love these. So this is super pooper cool. I'm coming up again. Can you see that? That is just from like the bark that had fallen off a tree. So I collected the bark and I just twisted it up. I put a little wire on there. So he's got a little leg. I'll extend his wire through so I can show you how to do that. So depending on the size of your vase, you have your little wire. It's like it's invisible. I could be a magician. Can you see the wire? No, here it is. So then I've got this here where you can see I've actually twisted a little tiny leg around there. So I'm just going to extend on that leg and pop my wire around. So it's just a couple of loops of wire around the base there. And I'm just going to twist him around. We just want to give him a little leg that we can stick him into our design with. And the same with this one. So in case you missed that, this one I have actually taped, pre-taped. So obviously if it's going out to a client or a friend, you might want to make it a little bit neater. So what you would do, you would twist the wire around, then, so we'll pretend this is underneath the parafilm. Twist the wire around. You've got your little false leg, and then you would just place the parafilm on top of this wire here. So it's covering all of your works, so it's all beautiful and neat. This one is not, but that is how you would do it. These two guys here, I'm going to take a tiny bit of that wire off because I think it's too tall to sit in there. And then we're going to pop them in there. Oh my goodness, look at that. He is just divine. So I've popped him at the front, obviously, because I think that he is delicious and he is having that focal area. I did find a little bit of fern, and I'm just gonna, again, as I said, I am a fan of texture. So I love having all of those different elements in there just to give that beautiful, like, point of interest, isn't it? If everything's a little bit different. So I'll bring him up and through. What am I going to do him? I'm going to do him over here because we seem to be going, it's like a little bit modern, but with a twist of traditional, would you say? So he's up here. I'm not sure if you can see because of the green behind me, but I will take a photo of it afterwards and then you can have a look. I'm going to, these little bits here that I broke off the brown before, because we've got the brown, remember we extended that dead brown through, and I'll bring that up, you can have a look. All that is, see, it's just a dead branch, a dead leaf that I found, but once he's in the design he looks quite gorgeous. So just to accentuate, like, so he's not, so we don't end up with a really heavy sort of wingy looking design. I'll just bring him up through here and he's just drawing the brown up and throughout the design and looking gorgeous whilst doing it. Then we go back, I have a little bit of this base greenery left. Remember our cheap satin? And I'm going to just make some really nice little neat little short pieces because we don't want them too focal, and I'm going to bring them down just nice and tight in the top of my design. You don't worry if there's some rambly little bits in there, because they'll add to that gorgeousness. And I did find a few of these little weeds. They're just like grass sprigs. And they can come through here. There's a little bit of a wildflower look. A few dead berries, dried, or dead from the garden floor, dried berries, filling in our spots here. I'm sitting them down really nice and low because I'm going for that old sort of Dutch look, that garden look. And let me just have a look. Oh, he is absolutely delicious. He just needs a tiny bit of green in the front, I think. Because remember, I was building it from the back. And that is that. So I will bring him tight. Can you see him? Isn't he just beautiful? I need something to pop behind him so you can see him. But what I will do, I will take a photo, and I will post the photo after this video. So this is our first one. Do you like? I'm so short I can't even be seen from behind the design. That was a little bit awkward. No, but yeah, this is the first video in our collection, Behind the Creative.